Hello. Today we are doing. What are we doing? We're doing part 2 of The Devil in the White City. We've done already the first part of the book. This is going to be the second part of the book. How many parts in the book are there? Hold on, let me double check here. Okay, so there's quite a few parts of the book. Damn, we flew through 100 pages just like that. That's interesting. Okay. Part 2 is going to be today, and part 2's title is An Awful Fight. It shows a picture of Chicago in 1891 to 1893, and it shows just a destroyed building. It says here the Manufacturers and Liberal Arts Building after the storm of June 13th, 1892. So, nearing fair time, and it demolished, man. Absolutely demolished. Up to this point, we kind of got a background on the characters, giving them a bit of a human element, right? We see that the people who will be the bad guys, they have good characteristics and very charming, right? And then you also see that the people who are supposed to be in charge of everything kind of don't know what the hell's going on. They're kind of just doing everything by the seat of their pants, hoping things go well. For better or for worse, that's kind of real life, right? Let's play some games. Get my mind off things. What did we do today? What did I do today? I think today I just did a lot of studying for my health and life insurance exam, and that was most of my day, from morning to afternoon. Got through a few chapters. This shit's not hard. It's so much. How do I describe it? Like, someone's got to do the work, right? Someone's got to be good enough to go through these licensing exams to the point where you can understand what it is that you're doing and, in essence, help a client understand what it is that they could or should be doing as well. Why is there no gun here? This dude just left. Now he's here.
Flawless victory.
Blessed be the bots, man. Blessed be the bots. Could you imagine these dudes looking at me with 3 kills and they're just like, dude, this dude must be good. This dude must be so good right now. He's carrying, bro. I mean, I would appreciate some more bots, I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's get some loot here. Got to scratch the eye, sorry. Yellow, what are you doing? Yellow, do I want to know what you're doing, Yellow? Yellow. Alright, so 1 teammate down. He's probably senile or some shit. Oh, brother, I'm in the crossfire. Over here, like, where the hell am I getting shot from? Alright, Blue's got the right idea. not see that dude coming. That's cute. Oh shoot, no. Do I really want to go high ground here? I kind of do. team, 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 team. Oh, team. Why was my gun zoomed in there? I didn't want to zoom my gun in. Where you at, bud? Come on back. Where's this clown? Is this yellow? Yeah. A bunch of bullshit. I don't know what this person's doing. I mean, he's got 9 kills. What am I going to say to him, right? Let's go ahead and start reading, because, yeah. Convocation. On Tuesday, February 24th, 1891, Burnham, Olmsted, Hunt, and the other architects gathered in the library on the top floor of the Rookery to present drawings of the fair's main structures to the Grounds and Buildings Committee. The architects met by themselves throughout the morning, with Hunt serving as a chairman. His gout forced him to keep one leg on the table. Olmsted looked worn and gray, except for his eyes, which gleamed beneath his bald skull like marbles of lapis. A new man had joined the group, Augustus St. Gaudens, one of America's best-known sculptors, whom Charles McKim had invited to help evaluate the designs. The members of the Grounds and Buildings Committee arrived at 2 o'clock and filled the library with the scent of cigars and frosted wool. The light in the room was swallow, the sun already well into descent. Wind thumped the windows. In the hearth at the north wall, a large fire cracked and lisped, flushing the room with a dry sirocco that caused frozen skin to tingle. At Hunt's brusque prodding, the architects got to work. One by one, they walked to the front of the room, unrolled their drawings, and displayed them upon the wall. Something had happened among the architects, and it became evident immediately, as though a new force had entered the room. They spoke, Burnham said, almost in whispers. Each building was more lovely, more elaborate than the last, and all were immense, fantastic things on a scale never before attempted. This dude really trying this? Is he going to pull this off? Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. Oh, dude, if I can land on that. Yeah, not much we can do here, I guess. Nice. Oh, shoot. I can work with this. Oh yeah, I saw him. Oh, that's a bot. Thank you. I'm gonna hit all my shots here. Nice. Alright, decent recovery, I guess. I don't love winning that way, but win's a win. And if they want to keep playing. Raised right. Interesting. Alright. Hunt hobbled to the front and displayed his administration building. Sorry. His administration building, intended to be the most important at the fair, and the portal through which visitors would enter. Its center was an octagon topped by a dome that rose 275 feet from floor to peak, higher than the dome of the U.S. Capitol. The next structure presented was even bigger. If successfully erected, George B. Post's Manufacturers and Liberal Arts Building would be the largest building ever constructed and consume enough steel to build 2 Brooklyn bridges. I thought I already hit that. He'll build 2 Brooklyn bridges. All that space, moreover, was to be lit inside and out with electric lamps. 12 electric elevators would carry visitors to the building's upper reaches. 4 would rise through a central tower to an interior bridge 220 feet above the floor, which in turn would lead to an exterior promenade offering foot-tingling views of the distant Michigan shore, a panorama, as one guidebook later put it, such as never before has been accorded to mortals. Post postponed to top his building with a dome of 450 feet high, which would have made the building not only the biggest in the world, but also the tallest. As Post looked around the room, he saw in the eyes of his peers great admiration, but also something else. A murmur passed among them. Such was this new level of cohesion among the architects that Post understood at once. What the hell happened? That Post understood at once. The dome was too much. Not too tall to be built, simply too proud for its context. It would diminish Hunt's building, and in so doing diminish Hunt and disrupt the harmony of other structures on the Grand Court. Okay, I'm seeing what they're saying. Hunt has to be like the granddaddy of them all, right? This is his little thing. He's got to be the king of the castle, so to speak. Without prodding, Post said quietly, "I don't think I shall advocate that dome. Probably I shall modify the building." There was unspoken but unanimous approval. Sullivan had already modified his own building. At Burnham's suggestion, originally Burnham wanted Adler and Sullivan to design the fair's music hall, but partly out of a continued sense of having been wronged by Burnham, the partners had turned the project down. Burnham later offered them the transportation building, which they accepted. 2 weeks before the meeting, Burnham wrote to Sullivan and urged him to modify his design to create, quote-unquote, one grand entrance toward the east and make this much richer than either of the others you had proposed. I'm sure that the effect of your building will be much finer than by the old method of 2 entrances on the side, neither of which could be so fine and effective as the one central feature. Sullivan took his suggestion but never acknowledged its provenance, even though that one great entrance eventually became the talk of the fair. Okay. What is this? I need lobbies, man. If I go into quads, I want to have a damn quad. All the architects, including Sullivan, seem to have been captured by the same spell. Although Sullivan later would disavow the moment, as each architect unrolled his drawings, the tension of feeling was almost painful. Burnham said. St. Gaudens, tall and lean and wearing a goatee, sat in a corner very still, like a figure sculpted from wax. On every face, Burnham saw a quiet intentness. It was clear to him that now, finally, the architects understood that Chicago had been serious about its elaborate plans for the fair. Drawing after drawing was unrolled, Burnham said, and as the day passed it was apparent that a picture had been forming in the minds of those present, a vision far more grand and beautiful than hitherto presented by the richest imagination. As the light began to fade, the architects lit the library gas jets, which hissed like mildly perturbed cats. From the streets below, the top floor of the rookery seemed aflame with the shifting light of the jets and the fire in the great heart. The room was still as death, Burnham said. Save for the low voice of the speaker commenting on his design, it seemed as if a great magnet held everyone in its grasp. Okay, so things are coming together in their own little chaotic way for the fair. For the fair's architects there. Why are people dropping? I don't understand. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you because I'm a teammate. If I gotta lead, I'll lead, but, I'm a teammate first. That's a bit too low of a drop for me, but alright. I think I've been here one time. I'm not sure what this is, but I've been here once. Stay close, fellas. I don't even know what the hell to do here. Is there any loot here? Gonna have to be a bad teammate for a second here. 2 of them, huh? Rocking and a rolling. I said we rocking and a rolling, baby. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate the help. Kind of wanted those gloves, but you know what? For the help, y'all deserve it. We're really trying to fight this, really. These dudes who are looting the bank, you want to fight them. Yeah, dude, yeah. I don't know why this dude turned around. You know, shit. going to be honest, I don't think I hit a single shot. So, decent looting. I don't know who decided to go bank. I also know that when I went to go help dude at bank, for whatever reason, purple turned around, and yellow was out there with his, dick in his hand. So that's a rough start, man. Should not have gone that way. Don't want to spectate that game. That was just a bad game altogether. And we didn't have a fourth either. The last drawing went up. For a few moments afterward, the silence continued. Lyman Gage, still president of the exposition, was first to move. He was a banker, tall, straight-backed, conservative in demeanor and dress, but he rose suddenly and walked to a window, trembling with emotion. "You are dreaming, gentlemen, dreaming," he whispered. "I only hope that half the vision may be realized." Now St. Gaudens rose. He had been quiet all day. He rushed to Burnham and took his hands in his own. He says, "I never expected to see such a moment," he said. "Look here, old fellow. Do you realize this has been the greatest meeting of artists since the 15th century?" Olmsted too sensed that something extraordinary had occurred, but the meeting also troubled him. First, it confirmed his growing concern that the architects were losing sight of the nature of the thing they were proposing to build. The shared vision expressed in their drawings struck him as being too sober and monumental. After all, this was a World's Fair, and fairs should be fun. Aware of the architects' increasing emphasis on size, Olmsted shortly before the meeting had written to Burnham, suggesting ways to enliven the grounds. He wanted the lagoons and canals strewn with waterfowl of all kinds and colors and traversed continually by small boats. Okay. So he wanted to make this just... What's the difference between a fair and a carnival? You know what I mean? Like, it seems very much they're pushing the limits of just wanting to make this like a circus. You want to lay down, pal? Get comfortable? You get comfortable. Do whatever you want. It seems like they want to make this like, put an elephant there, put a giraffe here, put colors there, put boats floating there. Right? Just throw everything at it with no real sense of strategy, which is okay. Come on, teammate. Let's go. Yep. 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 I like this. I like this. I like this a lot. I like the way we played there. What a great team win, you know what I mean? Dude, thanks. I think I'm good. Oh, yeah, I gotta go play with the team. If there was something I wanted, I would have bought it, but there was really nothing. Blue AR or something? No. This one I like. Never mind. Actually, get an angle here. What the hell are you marking? I gotta peace out of here, man. I can't play this. Team is gone. Oh, dude. Yeah, okay. Okay. See, I don't mind if we're bad at the game. I mind if you don't stick around, you don't play with the team. I mean, you know, it's just it's a rough way to play. It's a rough way to play. If you're not with the team, you're not going to win with the team. That's just, you know. What is this? I like that. Squad. Not just any boats, however, becoming boats. The subject became an obsession for him. His broad view of what constituted landscape architecture included anything that grew, flew, floated, or otherwise entered the scenery he created. Roses produced dabs of red, boats added intricacy and life, but it was crucial to choose the right kind of boat. He dreaded what would happen if the decision were left to one of the fair's many committees. He wanted Burnham to know his views from the start. We should try to make the boating feature of the exposition a gay and lively one. He wrote. He loathed the clatter and the smoke of steam launches. He wanted electric boats designed specifically for the park. With emphasis on graceful lines and silent operations, it was most important that these boats be constantly but quietly in motion to provide diversion for the eye, peace for the ear. What we shall want is a regular service of boats like that of an omnibus line in a city street, he wrote. He also envisioned a fleet of large birchback canoes paddled by Indians in deerskin and feathers, and recommended that various foreign watercraft be moored in the fair's harbor. I mean, such as Malay proas, catamarans, Arab dhows, Chinese sampans, Japanese pilot boats, Turkish kayaks, Eskimos kayaks, Alaskan war canoes, and the hooded boats of the Swiss lakes, and so on. Alright, so they weren't playing around with this thing. Where we at? Got very into the details here. Where are we all? Are we all going the same place? We are. Okay. Yeah. So the detail on this project seemed to be very intricate, to say the least. I mean, that had it down to the kind of people who were doing the job, you know? Are you that scared to go into the outhouse? Get in there, man. Bastard. Good start. I don't need much. I need... whatever I get from this new little baggie. Oh, if only I could grab that. Itching my eye. Here we go. Someone's at bank and I can annoy them. Who is dying already? The game just started. How are you already dead? this a real player or is this a bot? Oh. That's a real player. That's a real player. Ooh. Falling? I didn't even know they were. No, I hit that. No, I got 2 down. Where's my team? I don't want to hear anything from anybody. You already know how. You see the writing on the wall, right? You see the writing on the wall with respect to what's going on. Writing's on the wall. I'm living off the wall. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not playing that way. I'm going to have a team, and the team's going to work together like normal fucking humans. A far more important outcome of the Rookery meeting, however, was Olmsted's recognition that the architect's noble dreams magnified and complicated the already daunting challenge that faced him in Jackson Park. When he and Calvert Vaux had designed Central Park in New York, they had planned for visual effects that would not be achieved for decades. Here he would have just 26 months to reshape the desolation of the park into a prairie Venice and plant its shores, islands, terraces, and walks with whatever it took to produce a landscape rich enough to satisfy his vision. What the architect's drawings had shown him, however, was that in reality he would have far fewer than 26 months. The portion of his work that would most shape how visitors appraised his landscape, the planting and the grooming of the grounds immediately surrounding each building, could only be done after the major structures were completed and the grounds cleared of construction equipment, temporary tracks and roads, and other aesthetic impedimenta. Yet the palaces unveiled in the Rookery were so immense, so detailed, that their construction was likely to consume nearly all the remaining time, leaving little for him. I can imagine. All right, so this is, to my, my basic ass insights into this fair and what it's all about. There seems to be a lot going on here and not a lot of support to get the job done. Obviously, I mean, yeah, doable, right? But everybody's going to have to be on point here. Everybody's going to have to put in their fair share. But it does seem like it has a hint of, a hint of no effing way this is going to happen, right? There's always that group of people who they hear the plans and they're just like, nope, can't happen, can't happen. But the question isn't, can it happen? The question is, who do we need to get to make it happen, right? Anything can happen. It's just, don't you dare, don't you dare. I don't want to. And that's all me. That's right. That's 100% all me right there. You know, just annoying. What are you shoot? Are you shooting at your teammate? Oh, please don't tell me that. It's just what the. How did this dude go down? What are you throwing? Actually, is that a play? Can the bots not come in if you play with the thermites? Oh, this guy again. No. The bots are gonna kill you. The bots are actually gonna kill you. No fucking chance, right? And then here are these dipshits who want to play the bank all the damn time. Like, I get you want to play the bank. I get you want to get your dill pickle coin and whatever and go get your fucking rift gun so you can play that way like a puss all game long. But, when's the last time people actually just played? You didn't see that laser? Did you not notice that damn laser? It baffles me and boggles my mind sometimes how some people can do this. And who am I to judge, right? I'm a bot as well, but I think there's a level to bottiness, right? I think I'm at the higher end of bottiness compared to these quacks. Alright, here we go. Soon after the meeting, Olmsted composed a strategy for the transformation of Jackson Park. His 10-page memorandum captured the essence of all he had come to believe about the art of landscape architecture and how it should strive to conjure effects greater than the mere sum of petals and leaves. He concentrated on the fair's central lagoon, which his dredges soon would begin carving from the Jackson Park shore. The dredges would leave an island at the center of the lagoon to be called simply the Wooded Island. The fair's main buildings would rise along the lagoon's outer banks. Olmsted saw his lagoon district as the most challenging portion of the fair. Just as the Grand Court was to be the architectural heart of the fair, so the central lagoon and Wooded Island were to constitute its landscape centerpiece. Above all, he wanted the exposition landscape to produce an aura of mysterious poetic effect. Flowers were not to be used as an ordinary gardener would use them. Rather, every flower, shrub, and tree was to be deployed with an eye to how each would act upon the imagination. This was to be accomplished, Olmsted wrote, through the mingling intricately together of many forms of foliage, the alternation and complicated crossing of salient leaves and stalks of various green tints and high lights with other leaves and stalks behind and under them, and therefore less defined and more shaded, yet partly illuminated by light reflected from the water. Okay, so this was... So it's not that they're building anything. This had to be a masterpiece, right? It's like it's a statement. It's not just, yeah, anybody can make a building. You're not impressing anybody by making a building that's concrete and, you know, whatever the hell else. But this had to be a masterpiece of just epic proportion. Oh, I don't have any... I didn't know that. Why didn't nobody tell me? Where we at? I probably turned off voice chat on purpose. Didn't want to hear anybody. I'm not against grabbing this full shield ahead of time. Is that a bit selfish of me? I do believe so. Really, dude? What the hell is this dipshit doing? You know, I'd rather have an annoying team than an absentee team. No, dude, what are you doing touching my stuff? Haha. You wish, don't you? I like these. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Good shots. Good shots. I respect that. I respect to play like that. Just bad coordination on that one. Do I want to know what evil Slag is doing? Alright, well, apparently he's dying. I like how they're not really in the vicinity of where we died. They're like spectating, right? They're spectating while they're playing. That's what's funny. You want to take a nap time, Bubba? You want to turn it off? Turn it off. Let's go, hurry up. Let me take a big nap time. Big nap time? Alright, go ahead. Where did Takashi Stupid die? Where'd he go? What the how'd you get back there? I appreciate this, evil. Oh no. Oh no. Boy can get like an AR or something. Ah, this'll do. Uh-oh. Time to roll. Whoa. Okay, to recover and reboot the fellas. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way, right? Not much you can do there. Teammates running around, you know, 2v1. Just stayed with the bat, kept him off my... That's... What the... See, it's like teammates like this, right? Like, I get it. You want to reboot and you think that's cool. You got a shotgun. Are you ever going to use it? Would be nice, right? You haven't hit a snipe yet. What are you doing? No. Double no. The awareness is maddening. Maddening awareness. Oh, maddening awareness, maddening, 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 saddening, saddening awareness, right? You got to give that team props. They're playing together. They're chasing. Can't be mad at them. Not one bit. He hoped to provide visitors with a banquet of glimpses, the underside of leaves sparkling with reflected light, flashes of brilliant color between fronds of tall grass waving in the breeze. Nowhere, he wrote, should there be a display of flowers demanding attention as such. Rather, the flowers to be used for the purpose should have the effect of flecks and the glimmers of bright color imperfectly breaking through the general greenery. Anything approaching a gorgeous, garish, or gaudy display of flowers is to be avoided. Yeah, make it look natural. Sedges and ferns and graceful bulrush would be planted on the banks of the wooded island to conjure destiny and intricacy and to slightly screen without hiding flowers otherwise likely to be too obtrusive. He envisioned large patches of cattails broken by bulrush, iris, and flag and pocketed with blooming plants such as flame red cardinal flower and yellow creeping buttercup, planted, if necessary, only slightly raised mounds so as to be visible among the swaying green spires in the foreground. On the far shore, below the formal terraces of the buildings, he planned to position fragrant plants such as honeysuckle and summersweet so that their perfume would rise into the nostrils of visitors pausing on the terraces to view the island and the lagoon. It's a good strategy, right? If you have visitors, right, introduce them to the flowers. Oh, yeah, this is my garden. It smells beautiful, right? They're not thinking about the smell. They're looking at the garden. They're, oh, how beautiful is it? But really, it's the smell that gets them hooked, right? It's like women with perfume. If you fall for that shit, oh my gosh, dude, you're a sucker. They're doing it on purpose. A woman specifically should have her natural pheromones. You know, you should smell that. That should be your cue as to yay or nay. Beyond that, man, you know, that perfume shit, I hate that shit. I hate perfume. Can't stand it. Gives me the ick. Dick. Y'all need the carry here? Y'all really need to carry? I mean, I'll do it to him if I have to. I'll do it to him if I have to. Beautiful. That dude should get... Yeah, we got him. Alright, nice. Is he alone? 69 bullets in a dream. I mean, I can try. Ooh, 99. That makes all the difference. Let's go. Game over. Hello. Nah. Don't ever bing bong me again. You can take that car if you want, bruv. I don't got my license. What the hell is happening? Got a jump pad or something? What'd you do? Take two. Could have sworn I saw somebody running around here. Damn. I know who's in there. Killjoy. Sorry I couldn't do more, man. Tried to be a good distraction. And he's still alive. He can pull this out, hopefully. I don't know what kind of guns he has. Why does that name sound familiar? Killjoy. I can already tell by the loadout. Might be a bit of an issue here. Killjoy's rocking 10 minis. You should probably work on your health, man. I mean, your shots are hitting, so I'm not complaining. Oh! Now you can get the full 12 minis. What's that gold thing behind you? I can live with that fight, you know, dying altogether. Okay. You don't need all those minis. They're dropping on you. Look back, look back, look back, look back, look back. You're about to get swung on with a bat. Yep. 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 Oh, that's a rough one. That's a rough one, but it was a good try, nonetheless. A good try. Where am I looking here? These lobbies are hard, man. Oh, wait. No. I'm lying. Trio is what I used to always do, so we'll see. Sedges and ferns and graceful bulrush would be planted on the banks. Sorry, I did that. On the far shore, below the formal terraces of the buildings, he planned to position fragrant plants such as honeysuckle and summersweet so that their perfume did that. The overall effect, he wrote, is thus to be in some degree of the character of a theatrical scene, to occupy the exposition stage for a single summer. It was one thing to visualize all this on paper, another to execute it. Olmsted was nearly 70, damn. His mouth aflame, his head roaring, each night a desert of wakefulness. Even without the fair, he faced an intimidating portfolio of works in progress. Chief among them the grounds of Biltmore, the Vanderbilt estate in North Carolina. If everything went perfectly, if his health did not degrade any further, if the weather held, if Burnham completed the other buildings on time, if strikes did not destroy the fair, if the many committees and directors which Olmsted called that army of hundreds of masters learned to leave Burnham alone, Olmsted might be able to complete his task on time. A writer for Engineering Magazine asked the question no one had raised at the rookery. How is it possible that this vast amount of construction, greatly exceeding that of the Paris exhibition of 1889, will be ready in 2 years? Yeah, that's a $1 million question, right? They're trying to do this grand... This is like a grand slam. You're not even trying to hit a... You're not just trying to get wood on the ball. You're trying to hit a grand slam here. And I have no doubt that they'll probably figure it out somehow. Alright, we got Invite and MaxiPad. I don't see any way this goes wrong. How do people fly that fast? I'm not... Like, that dude was... Like, how? You know what I mean? Oh. Oh, I gotta get out of here, man. Oh, no, 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 no. Welcome back, boy. You are officially back in the game. Not sure what else I need right now. I don't think I need anything more, really. Didn't know I had a bat, not gonna lie. Talk about a walking mess. Ooh, yeah, we gotta go. I gotta get them out of here. Oh, damn. He wants to run it back. How funny. If M-Bite wants to run it back, M-Bite can run it back with me. Let's see. Hi, Bubba. For Burnham, too, the meeting in the Rookery had produced heightened awareness of how little time remained. Everything seemed to take longer than it should, and nothing went smoothly. The first real work in Jackson Park began on February the 11th, when 50 Italian immigrants employed by MacArthur Brothers, a Chicago company, began digging a drainage ditch. It was nothing. Routine. But word of the work spread, and 500 Union men stormed the park and drove the workers off. 2 days later, Friday the 13th, 600 men gathered at the park to protest MacArthur's use of what they alleged were imported workers. The next day, 2,000 men, many armed with sharpened sticks, advanced on MacArthur's workers, seized two, and began beating them. Police arrived. The crowd backed off. MacArthur asked Mayor Cregier for protection. Cregier assigned the city's Corporation Counsel, a young lawyer named Clarence Darrow, to look into it. 2 nights later, the city's union met with officers of the fair to demand that they limit the workday to 8 hours, pay union-scale wages, and hire union workers before all others. After 2 weeks of deliberation, the fair's directors accepted the 8-hour day, but said they'd think about the rest. There was conflict, too. Among the fair's overseers, the National Commission, made up of politicians and headed by Director General George Davis, wanted financial control. The Exposition Company, run by Chicago's leading businessmen and headed by President Lyman Gage, refused. The company had raised the money, and by God, the company would spend it in whatever way it chose. Committees ruled everything. In his private practice, Burnham was accustomed to having complete control over expenditures needed to build his skyscrapers. Now he needed to seek approval? Yeah, we'll see. We'll give it like a... He invited me? Oh, nice. Now he needed to seek approval from the Exposition Company's executive committee at every step, even to buy drafting boards. It was all immensely frustrating. We must push this now, Burnham said. The delays have seemed interminable. But he did make progress, for example. He directed a contest to choose a female architect to design the women's building for the fair. Sophia Hayden of Boston won. She was 21 years old. Her fee was the prize money, $1,000. The male architects each got $10,000. There had been skepticism that a mere woman would be able to conceive such an important building on her own. Examination of the facts show that this woman had no help whatsoever in working up the designs, Burnham wrote. It was done by herself in her home. There you go. In March, however, all the architects acknowledged that things were proceeding far too slowly, that if they built their structures as originally planned out of stone, steel, and brick, the buildings could not possibly be finished by opening day. They voted instead to clad their buildings in staff, a resilient mixture of plaster and jute that could be molded into columns and statuary and spread over wood frames to provide the illusion of stone. There will not be a brick on the grounds, Burnham said. Okay. So we're still in the phase of building architecture, right? Which is fine. But, I want some of the juicy details, I'm getting the impression that, I'm not vain or anything. I'm not trying to say I'm happy that, there was a national tragedy here at the fair. But, it would be nice to finally hear the very first. And he came out of the darkness alone in an alleyway with a machete in his right hand. It would be nice to hear that, right? I think it's about time if we're in part 2 of the book. I'm waiting for that a little bit. Is this the fucking thriller place? I like this move. I respect this move. I respect this move so hard. Wait. No. I need that. If we're going to be able to fight this, whoever's here. Okay, nice job, team. Kind of surprised we pulled that off, I'm not gonna lie. You know what? No, we deserve that. That was a great gameplay by me. All me. That was all me. My teammate's kind of nuts. I owe him a lot. Might have to invite him for dinner. Just because he might be that good. Alright, we survived the first wave. What gun did I have? How did I get a bat, by the way? I'm not complaining, I just... Would be nice to spawn with one every time, you know? I just don't remember spawning with one. So not my finest move. So maybe I drive a little goofy in game, alright? Sue me. I don't want your car. Not sure this is really what we want to do. This is usually a very hot drop around here. I'm gonna enjoy this. Get over here, dingus. Why did he get out of the car? I thought that was a funny ending, and I'm not mad at that one. I thought that was funny. In the midst of all this, as the workload increased, Burnham realized he could put off no longer the hiring of a designer to replace his beloved John Root. He needed someone to manage his firm's ongoing work while he tended to the exposition. I'll just wait. While he tended to the exposition, a friend recommended Charles B. Atwood of New York. McKim shook his head. There were stories about Atwood and questions of dependability. Nonetheless, Burnham arranged to meet Atwood in New York at the Brunswick Hotel. No, dude. Yes. Atwood stood him up. Burnham waited an hour, then left to catch his train. As he was crossing the street, a handsome man in a black bowler and a cape, really, with black gun muzzle eyes, approached him and asked if he was Mr. Burnham. "I am," Mr. Burnham said. "I'm Charles Atwood. Did you want to see me?" Burnham glared. "I'm going back to Chicago. I'll think it over and let you know." Burnham caught his train. Once back in Chicago, he went directly to his office. A few hours later, Atwood walked in. He had followed Burnham from New York. Burnham gave him the job. Atwood had a secret, as it happens. He was an opium addict. It explained those eyes and his erratic behavior. But Burnham thought him a genius. As a reminder to himself and anyone who visited his office and the shanty, Burnham posted a sign over his desk bearing a single word: Rush. I like that. I'm gonna put that on my. I'm gonna make a note of that. Make a note of that, just because I like the essence, the spirit behind that one word: Rush. Time was so short. The executive committee began planning exhibits and appointing World's Fair commissioners to secure them. In February, the committee voted to dispatch a young Army officer, Lieutenant Mason A. Schufelt, to Zanzibar to begin a journey to locate a tribe of pygmies, only recently revealed to exist by explorer Henry Stanley, and to bring to the fair a family of 12 or 14 of the fierce little midgets. The committee gave Lieutenant Schufelt 2.5 years to complete his mission. Okay. All right, so that I like that dude, that Atwood guy. Staked his claim. He was like, all right, I want the job. I'll think it over. Let me just follow you to your office just in case you didn't hear me. I can 1,000,000% respect the hell out of that. You guys jumped too early. Let me show you how it's done. I gotta turn up, man. I haven't been playing well to any degree. What would I have done differently that last game? Probably gotten different teammates, honestly. No, it's my fault too. I mean, it's just bad positioning. I'm in the car. You know, we got to play the rocks. We got to play the houses, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Come on, man. There we go. I like that. I like that. I'd say I got the best gun in the game right now, so... Dude, get me out of here. What are you doing?
Sub-Zero.
Where's homeboy at? Get him, team. Get him, team. No, no, no. Keep your ego down. You don't got anything to fight this. Come on, fellas. Look at this team out here like vultures. Yeah, it's got no battery on it. Sorry, man. Actually, that's a good idea. All right. Good recovery here. Could be much worse. Of all the teams left, I think we're the cutest. Actually. You know where I'm looking. I was wondering who was shooting. To be fair, I'm kind of always wondering who's shooting. I like this. The team is healthy. I'm not carrying. Oh, these things. Oh my gosh. One at a time. Nice job, team. I knew they were there. I knew what had to be done. Just didn't do it. Oh, Tomac, bro. No disrespect. I don't want you in my party right now. I can't handle bot players right now. I'm botting out harder than everybody here. Invite has 4 kills. I had 5 or something. Like, that's not acceptable. Invite, I'm expecting 7, 8 kills out of you, dude. Oh, it's just such a vulnerable place to play. Kudos to them. They used high ground. They used it well. I love this car. This car, sorry. Hiccup. This is a 5 tick, dude. You don't want that. You don't want to do this. This is a 5 tick. Such a good game, but such a rough ending, you know. Nah, I'm not gonna say that was a great game, but that was better than what we've been normally having up to this point. You know. Anyways, let us continue. I have the word rush here, and I remember why. Time was so short. Presence unknown. Yeah, that's exactly what I want, right?
What's up, brother?
What's up, dude? Look at that. Time was so short, the executive committee began planning exhibits and appointing World's Fair commissioners to secure them. In February, the committee voted to dispatch a young army officer, Lieutenant Mason A. Schufelt, to... Alright, I did that. Beyond the fairgrounds, new fence, turmoil, and grief engulfed Chicago. Union leaders threatened to organize unions worldwide to oppose the fair. The Inland Architect, a prominent Chicago journal, reported that un-American institution, the trades union, has developed its un-American principle of curtailing or abolishing the personal freedom of the individual in a new direction, that of seeking as far as possible to cripple the World's Fair. Such behavior, the journal said, would be called treason in countries less enlightened and more arbitrary than ours. The nation's financial condition worsened. Offices in the newest of Chicago's skyscrapers remained vacant, just blocks from the Rookery, Burnham and Roots. Temperance building stood huge and black and largely empty. 25,000 unemployed workers roamed the city. At night, they slept in police stations, and in the basement of the city hall, the unions grew stronger. All right, and this is close to the last page, so... All right, let's do it, fellas. Not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. Is he down there?
Fuck. Huh?
I'm trying to fight this homie's waiting in a trash can.
Means you're happy. Okay, you're just freaking skinny and anorexic and it's not a real shit with all yours. I killed my wife.
Oh, get the... You got a...
Don't say
You got a
that. I
med
killed
kit
my
too.
wife.
Hey, Jan, why don't you take your own advice and shut the fuck up? Oh, Robert. The name Demon Robert screams. This dude, it needs to change his name. No way this is happening, right? Like, I can't get out of the game either. They're just... I'm happy that this is being recorded. This is like one of those things that people wouldn't believe unless they saw it, right? And you can't destroy trash cans, right? They're invincible. They're giving him the impression that they're leaving, like... Yeah, no, dude, of course not. What do you think you're gonna do? No way. Alright, let's finish up this chapter before I get off on principle alone. You know. The old world was passing P.T. Barnum. Oh, P.T. Barnum died. Oh, interesting. That was this long ago. P.T. Barnum is one of the most interesting people in the history of this country. He knows how to run a circus, doesn't he? P.T. Barnum died. Grave robbers attempted to steal his corpse. Whoa. William Tecumseh Sherman died too. Atlanta cheered. Reports from abroad asserted erroneously that Jack the Ripper had returned. Closer at hand, a glory killing in New York suggested he might have migrated to America. In Chicago, the former warden of the Illinois State Penitentiary at Joliet, Major R.W. McClory, began readying the city for the surge in crime that everyone expected the fair to produce, establishing an office in the auditorium to receive and distribute Bertillon identifications of the known criminals. Devised by French criminologist Alphonse Bertillon, the system required police to make a precise survey of the dimensions and physical peculiarities of suspects. Bertillon believed that each man's measurements were unique and thus could be used to penetrate the aliases that criminals deployed in moving from city to city. In theory, a detective in Cincinnati could telegraph a few distinctive numbers to investigators in New York with the expectation that if a match existed, New York would find it. Okay.
Where the is he going? Do I even have gold? I don't have gold. Gone, bruh. Gone. Pull out here, bruh. Oh, bro, is that ballsy? Did you forget I killed this boy with a pump and dump? Thought you forgot. Get over here, son. Here's Serena Williams. Stay in that corner, bruh. Where are you going, dude? Just stay. Stop being weird.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Pop you, bird.
I need a little bit of space to hide out.
No one took anything, right? Just pump it down. I got a squad. Or a person. Probably going for a reboot.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm going to read the last sentence, or the last paragraph. A reporter asked Major McClory whether the fair really would attract the criminal element. He paused a moment and then said, I think it's quite necessary. Oh, wait, no. I think it quite necessary that the authorities here should be prepared to meet and deal with the greatest congregation of criminals that ever yet met in this country. Jeez, all right, so they were kind of expecting it. I'm not angry with the team. I'm not. I'm just pissed the fuck off, I guess. Because TV goes, I don't have gold. All right, let's go into the field. Cool. I'm not sure I want to come back to you guys, man. I really don't know if I want that. Let's finish out the night strong. I'm not giving up. Not giving up, not giving up. Man, you can mark them. Nobody's going to show up with you, man. That's what this team's all about. It's behind you. Yeah, well. Just why? I'm not ending the night this way. Nope. No sir, no sir, not happening. I'm not ending the night this way. If I go out on a shitty game, then that's because I tried my best. In that game, I feel like I didn't even try my best. I feel like I didn't even get a good team to try with. This video been 3 hours? 3 hours, right on the dot. Is that invite? Who added me? Whatever. Let's see. Let's make sure. Let's just make sure this has been uploaded nice. Like that green car. When did I see a green car? Oh, somebody else saw a green car. I like that blue car better. More classy, more realistic. Devil in the White City. That was part 4, just uploaded. The book's gonna go by fast, man. I like having things to read. I don't know what it is about it. It's like a good checkpoint on your day, I guess. The next subsection is, funny enough, going to be titled Cuckoldry. 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 Looks like it's a very quick subchapter. Alright, we're playing with Docile Blockade, Romulus, and Last Craft Wagon. I'm not sure I have much faith in Docile Blockade, but the other two sound like splendid chaps. I mean, can they handle fields? Apparently people can't even handle fields anymore, man. Isn't it funny how everybody thinks that thanking the bus driver is going to make a difference? And yet only the person who wins is going to tell himself, oh, it's because I thanked the bus driver. You think that's funny? Or is that just me? Being the nut that I am. No, you fucking dunce. Thank you, Purple. Bunch of bots. This looks like it should be a decent start. You dumbass. Gotta be shitting me. Get in the car, you bots. Playing with a bunch of dumbasses, man. Shoot. No, fuck it. I feel like this might be more use to me. Oh, you can buy it. That's why. I gotcha. I was wondering why. Lay pussyfoot around, I'll just keep looting. Oh man. The bodiness level is just on a different tier right now. Oh, dude, docile is the bodiest of bots. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The fella's got the job done. I can respect that. I had my idea. There you go. Dumbass. I fucking hate my teammates. And it feels good to say that. I should have had those bubbles because these dipshits don't know how to position themselves. There are some moments when you just know people so well you have no faith in them, you know? Can I spectate? Yeah, can I spectate the other team just for like enjoyment? I feel like I'm spectating a rock. I'm spectating Patrick's house, man. Thanks, man. 7 people left. Everything's been looted. I wonder how this is one's gonna go. You know what? Those dudes fucking stunk. I just had shitty teammates. It is what it is.